Forward. Codependence Anonymous is a worldwide fellowship of men and women who come together to solve their common and individual problems of codependence. The need for such a program as CODA was so great that in the first 6 years of CODA's existence, the program grew to more than 4,000 meetings worldwide, with a membership of approximately 100,000. In the infancy of Codependence Anonymous, the Board of Trustees turned to the founders to draft the first version of a book to reflect the experience, strength, and hope of the fellowship. This version began the process leading to the book you're reading today. This book, Codependence Anonymous, is a culmination of many years of work involving members of several boards of trustees and others in the fellowship. This work is not a product of any one time or place. It is an ongoing evolutionary process produced by countless meetings of group consciousness. We offer this book not only as a practical guide, but as a symbol of our own collective journey. It represents a cross-section of our experience, both joyous and painful, and it stands as a beacon to the codependent who still suffers. There is hope for changed relationships with a higher power, ourselves and others. We can move out of our current, perhaps lifelong, pain and into a new way of living. We now invite all who suffer from codependence to read our book in the hope that each of you may find what many of us have found, the hope and freedom of recovery. Preamble. Codependence Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women whose common purpose is to develop healthy relationships. The only requirement for membership is a desire for healthy and loving relationships. We gather together to support and share each other in a journey of self-discovery, learning to love the self. Living the program allows each of us to become increasingly honest with ourselves about our personal histories and our codependent behaviors. We rely upon the 12 steps and 12 traditions for knowledge and wisdom. There are the principles of our program and guide to developing honest and fulfilling relationships with ourselves and others. In CODA, we each learn to build a bridge to a higher power of our own understanding, and we allow others the same privilege. This renewal process is a gift of healing for us. By actively working the program of Codependence Anonymous, we can each realize a new joy, acceptance, and serenity in our lives. We welcome you to Codependence Anonymous, a program of recovery from codependence, where each of us may share our experience, strength, and hope in our efforts to find freedom where there has been bondage, and peace where there has been turmoil in our relationships with others and ourselves. Most of us have been searching for ways to overcome the dilemmas of the conflicts in our relationships and our childhoods. Many of us were raised in families where addictions existed. Some of us were not. In either case, we have found in each of our lives that codependence is a most deeply rooted compulsive behavior, and that it is born out of our sometimes moderately, sometimes extremely dysfunctional family systems. We have each experienced in our own ways the painful trauma of the emptiness of our childhood and relationships throughout our lives. We attempted to use others, our mates, our friends, and even our children as our sole source of identity, value, and well-being, and as a way of trying to restore within us the emotional losses of our childhoods. Our histories may include other powerful addictions which at times we have used to cope with our codependence. We have all learned to survive life, but in Coda, we are learning to live life. Through applying the 12 steps and principles found in Coda to our daily lives and relationships, both present and past, we can experience a new freedom from our self-defeating lifestyles. It is an individual growth process. Each of us is growing at our own pace and will continue to do so as we remain open to God's will for us on a daily basis. Our sharing is our way of identification and helps us to free the emotional bonds of our past and the compulsive control of our present. No matter how traumatic your past or despairing your present may seem, there is hope for a new day in the program of Codependence Anonymous. No longer do we need to rely on others as a power greater than yourself. May you instead find here a new strength within to be that which God intended, precious and free. The 12 steps of Codependence Anonymous. Number 1, we admitted we were powerless over others, that our lives had become unmanageable. Number 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Number 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood God. Number 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Number 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Number 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Number 7, humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. Number 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Number 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Number 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Number 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood God, praying only for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. Number 12, had a spiritual awakening. As a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to other codependents and to practice these principles in all our affairs. The 12 traditions of Codependence Anonymous. Number 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon Coda unity. Number 2, For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving higher power as expressed to our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. Number 3, the only requirement for membership in CODA is a desire for healthy, loving relationships. Number 4, each group should remain autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or CODA as a whole. Number 5, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to other codependents who still suffer. Number 6, a CODA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the CODA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary spiritual aim. Number 7, every CODA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Number 8, Codependence Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special coworkers. Number 9, CODA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards and committees directly responsible to those they serve. Number 10, CODA has no opinion on outside issues, hence the CODA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. Number 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal autonomy at the level of press, radio, and films. Number 12, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions reminding us to place principles before personalities. The 12 Promises of Codependence Anonymous. I can expect a miraculous change in my life by working the program of Codependence Anonymous, as I make an honest effort to work the 12 steps, follow the 12 traditions. Number 1, I know a new sense of belonging. The feeling of emptiness and loneliness will disappear. Number 2, I am no longer controlled by my fears. I overcome my fears and act with courage, integrity, and dignity. Number 3, I know a new freedom. Number 4, I release myself from worry, guilt, and regret about my past and present. I am aware enough not to repeat it. Number 5, I know a new love and acceptance of myself and others. I feel genuinely lovable, loving, and loved. Number 6, I learn to see myself as equal to others. My new and renewed relationships are all with equal partners. Number 7, I am capable of developing and maintaining healthy and loving relationships. The need to control and manipulate others will disappear as I learn to trust those who are trustworthy. Number 8, I learned that it is possible for me to mend, to become more loving, intimate, and supportive. I have the choice of communicating with my family in a way which is safe for me and respectful of them. Number 9, I acknowledge that I am a unique and precious creation. Number 10, I no longer need to rely solely on others to provide my sense of worth. Number 12, I trust the guidance I receive from my higher power and come to believe in my own capabilities. Number 12, I gradually experience serenity, strength, and spiritual growth in my daily life.